everything that's easy to do, it's also easy not to do. One of these things could be setting goals. In vlog entry number 38, we started to talk about the subject of time management. And one of the first suggestions that we shared was about how to set goals. And this activity could be easy to do and easy not to do, and it could also be fun depending on how we are relating ourselves to this activity. So today we're going to be talking about setting goals. Even today's opening quote, what's easy to do, it's also easy not to do, was of course by Rohn. And most of the content that we're going to be sharing about how to set goal, I learned it from him, listening, studying his material. His material and Brian Tracy's material. So I invite you to study these timeless mentors. And yes, the opening quote was, what's easy to do, it's also easy not to do, because it's all a matter of priorities. Priorities because we gotta prioritize the actions that we're going to be taking, and it's up to us to convert those actions into habits, because habits are those things that once we create them are going to create us. So in order to prioritize our doing, we need to know what our goals are.
My biggest responsibility is to make sure you get your time's worth. And the reason I say that is because time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but unfortunately you can't get more time.
Based on my personal experience, which is what I'm here to share, I honestly believe that the best way to set valuable goals is by starting asking the right questions. So first of all, I would ask myself, what do I want to achieve? And how am I planning to achieve it? And then I would ask myself, by when do I want to achieve it? And lastly, which is probably the most important of this question, is why?
Time is more valuable than money.
Let's begin with what. What is the subject of our ambitions? What is the subject of our desires? There is an infinity of subjects in which we could be setting goals. There are personal development goals, personal goals like health-related, interpersonal goals, meaning relationships with friends or loved ones or families, and professional goals, financial goals, and so forth. As I might have mentioned already in a previous blog entry, I love this quote by Seneca, who says that there is no favorable wind for the sailor who does not know where to go. So it is crucial to know exactly what is the subject of our desires. And then around it, it's up to us to create a game plan to achieve it the best way possible and in the shortest time possible.
Time is more valuable than money.
Once that we know what is the subject of our desire, the next most valuable question to ask ourselves, I believe, is how? Now, it is true that the answers to all our questions are within. But when it comes to learning how to achieve the subject of our desires, well, I believe that the easiest way, the fastest way is to have the possibility to rely upon the support of a mentor. I believe that the best way to acquire the know-how to achieve our goals is by having the possibility to rely upon the support of somebody who has already achieved the kind of results that we're aiming for. So the figure of the mentor, I believe, is a crucial one along the personal development journey that we are all walking. And the figure of the mentor, the subject of the mentor, is something that we're going to be talking about in a future vlog entry, the next vlog entry about time management. But today's subject is we're chatting about what is the best way, what are the questions to ask ourselves in writing down a list of goals. So let's continue with that.
He coached me. He taught me. He taught me the books to read. He taught me the disciplines. He taught me the changes to make in my language and personality. And the things he shared with me during that 5 years literally changed my life, turned my life around.
Putting aside the subject of the mentor, and only after pointing out actually that all these clips that you see by Jim Rohn, you can find on the channel. There is a playlist. I think the title is Jim Rohn, and in it you can find all the clips that we've been collecting from Jim Rohn's content. So I invite you to dig in and learn from the master. And going back to the how to set goals, I think this is the best part of the process, is the most fun, because we all like to dream. So the best way, the how to set goals, is taking time for ourselves. Go within and write it down. Write down a list of all the wildest desires that you have within you. And as Les Brown suggests us, at this stage, we should forget completely about how we're going to achieve them. Just write it down. Write down whatever it is that you desire. At this point, it becomes clear that the subject of how, it's really two subjects. The first how is how to set goals, how to understand what is the subject of our desires. And this is more of a personal process, a personal journey, something that nobody else can help us with. Nobody can tell us what we desire, what we want to achieve. But the second how, which is how we're going to pursue and achieve those dreams, that those desires, those goals that we set for ourselves, well, this second step is something that I believe we can use the help of somebody else in order for us to achieve it the best way possible and the fastest way possible.
Time is more valuable than money.
At this point of the process, it is crucial to start talking about when, because the only difference between a dream and a goal is the deadline.
Tell me quando.
Since there are short, medium, and long-term objectives, all we have to do at this point is go back to the list of desires, goals that we wrote down, and simply prioritize them, rearrange them based on the time frame that we give to them. And just like everything else in life, even this process is completely, entirely up to us. So it's up to us which goals we're going to be setting for the next few years. And of course, there will be bigger goals that will take time, and they will need to be chopped up in smaller goals. But what's most important is that we always make progress towards those goals. There will be goals achievable in a matter of days, weeks, months, years. But again, this leads us to the next question to ask ourselves, which is the why. Yes, the why, because with a strong enough why, we can face and overcome any how. So the why gives us strength, inspiration. And what's also crucial, as we said earlier, is the progress that we're making daily towards the achievement of our goals. Because it's not only about stressing about the time frame or the timeline that we have to stick to, which is an imposition, a limitations that we set for ourselves. But what's crucial is that we are getting better along the way. Because as Jim Rohn teaches us, the most valuable results, the most valuable achievement that sprouts from a goal is not the realization of the goal itself, but it is the person that the goal will make of us to achieve it. So let's follow Jim Rohn's advice and let's set goals for the person they will make of us to achieve them. The real reward is not in what we are pursuing or in what we are achieving, but it is in who we are becoming. the essence of life is growth. So it is normal that we desire to be better, to do better, to have more. And of course, it's also normal that we want all these things in the shortest time possible. But at the same time, we should not forget that time is man-made. It is something that we created. As Jim Rohn says, it is crucial to do measurable progress in reasonable time, but without forgetting that time is a creation. And as such, it is something that we should be using to support us and not to limit us. All this being said, let's conclude today's vlog entry about time management and goal settings by simply realizing that these are all tools and that the real reward does not lie in the process, but the real riches are in the path, in the journey itself.
Thoughts, ideas, to furnish you some ways and means to turn your life into the dream you want it to be.
Done with the breakdown of the process, since I said that I am here to share my experience, and I'm not hiding how much I'm struggling to professionally talk about this subject in English, which is not my mother tongue, and how precise and how correct I would like to be. So I'm really, it's all a matter of harmony. This is what I am getting to. Goals and ambitions and desires we talked about in the first part of the vlog, but everything comes down to harmony, because yes, I mentioned Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Brian Tracy. As Jim Rohn says, it is crucial to learn as much as possible, but we should be students, not followers, because these are just suggestions, ideas that might work for them, for you, but not necessarily are working for me. For example, sharing my experience, as I said, I had a particular kind of relationship in relating with my goals. I still use them. I have monthly goals that I take a look at least once a week or so, just to, I know in what direction I want to get to. And before going to bed, I write down a list of things that I want to do the following day, which you might call daily goals that are moving me closer to the medium and long-term goals. But I am much more relaxed in the way I approach those ambitions of mine, because I realized that after time, through experience, that I was doing myself a disservice by stressing about the things that I want to achieve and that I have not yet achieved. I am learning by day, experience by experience, goal by goal, that my most valued priority and ambition is peace of mind, harmony, serenity. And this is what I'm treasuring at this stage of my life. Also because I noticed this is the nature, the nature of the person that I am, that every time that I was reaching a certain goal, I would immediately set the next one, the next higher one. And I was not making myself miserable, but I was, and I'm still am, giving myself a really hard time. And by being very hard on myself and not being at peace with myself in the relationship with the things that I want to do and achieve, then I was also affecting the life of the people around me. So it is all a matter of harmony, and I don't like to call it balance. I prefer to use the word harmony, as I learned by listening to James Arthur Ray, another good mentor. And then in the next vlog about time management, talking about mentor, I will explain how I perceive the difference between mentor and tutors, because mentor is not somebody you pay, and all these mentors that I mentioned so far are people that you would pay in order to become one of their mentee. But we'll leave this subject for the next blog entry. My major point is that listen to everybody, to those people that you consider to be worth your time listening to, and then make up your mind. Apply what you think works for you. Try it out for a while and change it if it doesn't fit your priorities, your schedule, your values. Nothing is set in stone. Everything is up to you. It is crucial, though, that we don't leave all this knowledge to be theoretical, either if you're learning it by reading or by watching videos like this one, because knowledge without action is entertainment. So we gotta take action. We gotta apply what we think, what we want to test, what we think that might help us, that might be of value. And with time, then, by monitoring our process, our progress, we can understand what works and what doesn't. I really appreciate the time you dedicated to today's vlog entry as well. And let's finish up this entry by reading one of Abraham's cards. Action toward anything that is accompanied by joy or love is always valuable. Our encouragement is that you pay attention to your emotional balance. Work deliberately to find the best feeling thoughts you can find and practice them until they are habitual. You know, as we said earlier, that we gotta find the right actions and convert them into habits. The same is with these thoughts, with our pattern of thinking. In doing so, you will tend to your alignment first, and then proceed with whatever action you feel inspired to follow. And in previous vlog entries and in other content that you might find on the channel, we often talk about inspired action. Action toward anything, when accompanied, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, by joy or love or good feeling emotion, is always valuable. That's also why I ended the conversation about goal settings and the suggestions we've been sharing through today's vlog entry. I mentioned that you gotta feel good about the process. If, as I was doing, you're using goals to stress yourself over the achievement of them, well, then they are doing ourselves a disservice. And vibrationally, we're going to push away the achievement of the realization, the materialization of our very desire. That being said, thank you very much for the time you dedicated to today's vlog entry. I'll see you on the next one, and be better with books. Improve your thinking by reading to improve.
This video has been brought to you
By us at
Real Estate Helpful Solutions.
We Buy Houses, helping people.
To find out more about how we can be of help, text or call us at 727-366-6916 or send us an email at the email address you see in the photo.